What's Pacquiao got? He's in trouble. He stopped. Bellew's done it.
What's going on, you guys? So Tony Bellew has come out and he's insinuating that Canelo Alvarez is doing the unexplainable. He is doing the unexplainable. And this video may be taboo to a lot of people. It may be controversial to a lot of people. But this is Bushido Boxing. And I'm going to always give you guys the objective truth. Yeah, I can be biased. I'm human, right? We all got a little bit of bias in us. If you ain't biased, then you ain't real to me. We all got some bias. But I try to be as objective as possible when I'm talking this boxing shit with you guys. And I'm a fan of Canelo Alvarez. I think he's a hell of a fighter. I think he's a genius fighter. I think he's definitely worthy to be a pound-for-pound #1 in the sport, right? But there is a lot of things that even I question over the years, even being a fan of Canelo. Let me just read to you guys what Tony Bellew had to say, then we'll cook from there, right? He says, unexplainable. Yes, I agree. He's great and amazing at what he does. But it's unexplainable to be able to go through weight divisions like this and bully people. Take nothing away from his boxing ability, because he's amazing. But come on, FFS. FFS means, for all you guys who don't know, it means for fuck's sake. So if you see a guy saying FFS, that's what that means. He's going to end up legging heavyweights. So Tony Bellew is insinuating that Canelo Alvarez is doing something that he really shouldn't be doing. Moving up in weight, not losing no speed, not losing his power, not losing no endurance. His physique looking phenomenal, and he's bullying bigger men. Tony Bellew questions it. A lot of people gave him a lot of heat on his social media for it too. You know, and if you're a long-time fight guy, not just box, but fighting guy, I learned over years, just being a fight fan, you know, or training and stuff, and, you know, just being a fighter guy. I learned about paid use and steroids and human growth hormones and some of the side effects that it may have and some of the things that it do and benefit, or some of the things that it does to negate. And man, it's just a deep subject, right? You know, you don't never want to point the finger to a guy if he's really innocent. And that's not what I'm doing here. But if you follow, like, let's say, for example, MMA back in the day, back when Pride Fighting Championships was around. You remember that, right? Pride, the Japanese promotion that was rival to the UFC back in the day. It was actually better than the UFC back in the day. A lot of those guys, they didn't drug test over there. For those who don't know, in Japan, they don't drug test. They don't drug test at all. So if you even go watch ONE FC right now, if you look at a lot of those fighters over there, even the American ones that's fighting, shredded. They look like action figures. Every last one of them. Everybody looks phenomenal, looks crazy, explosive, fast, strong, crazy. No drug testing out there. Tony Bellew also tried to throw in the fact that there's another guy who's doing the same thing Canelo did. And this is what he had to say. I never said he didn't. He responded to a fan. Only one of them men went through weight divisions like Canelo also. You'll find the one who did is the same man whose head and body was still growing in his mid-30s. So one would assume that he is talking about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao moved up multiple weight divisions, didn't lose anything at all, right? No speed, still kept his speed wherever he was at. And if you pay attention to boxing over the years, Floyd Mayweather, even before they fought, him and Manny, he mentioned that how's your head getting bigger and you're a fully grown man already? How's your head continuing to grow? Well, they say that's a sign of human growth hormones when a dude has that enlarged melon. And even some of my favorite guys like Rampage Jackson, once I learned that, right, years ago, I look at fighters' heads and then their body dimensions. I'm like, man, why this motherfucker head so big? He was in Pride over there. They wasn't doing drug testing. You know what I'm saying? Just one of those things, right? I don't speak on it because it's very, very, very taboo. But even my boy Anderson Silva, love Anderson Silva, one of my favorite fighters ever. But even I question him. Of course, he also tested positive before, right? Anderson Silva has a big-ass fucking head. Now, maybe these just big-ass head motherfuckers, right? Some people just got big heads. But usually those dudes with them big skulls like that, The big skulls are kind of bigger men, bigger dudes. So take it for how you will, people. But Tony Bellew had a lot more to say. He says, I'm not making any excuses. The better boxer won the fight. Talking about Callum Smith. Maybe he was riding with Callum Smith hard. And we all know Tony Bellew rides with his UK brothers to the end, right? Maybe he's just feeling some type of way because Callum Smith lost that fight against Canelo Alvarez in a horrible fashion. I mean, he didn't do nothing. He had nothing for Canelo Alvarez in that fight. Canelo Alvarez even broke his bicep by punching him in the arm so much. Is it wrong to ask questions, though? If it is wrong, then please tell me why. I'm sure if Floyd jumped up to 175 and dusted the main champion, you have something to say. Actually, you probably wouldn't because you're clueless. So he's saying that Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather was the same size. Close, right? Canelo Alvarez moved down to 152 to fight Floyd. But standing next to each other, they same height. Floyd may have a slightly longer reach, but they was about the same size kind of dudes. Canelo might be a little thicker guy, whatever, but he's saying, imagine if Floyd Mayweather moved up to 175 and dusted off the main champion. We can't even picture that. We can't even fathom that. It's just not possible. But for some reason, he's saying that Canelo Alvarez is able to do this, and he's questioning it. Maybe Canelo Alvarez is just that damn good. You know? Maybe he's just that damn good. Callum Smith also came out and said that Canelo Alvarez jumped on him because he looked bad his last fight. Prior to him looking bad his last fight, Canelo Alvarez wouldn't mention him. And this is something that I spoke about in my previous videos. And I like Canelo, so his fans are super sensitive. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to hear the objective truth. You know what I'm saying? They super sensitive. I like Canelo. I think he's a hell of a fighter. But it's just a lot of things that come with Canelo Alvarez that I'm not blind to. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that come with him. The questionable decisions, you know, the failed drug test, you know, the ability to move up in weight and not really lose too much of anything. His physique looks phenomenal no matter what weight division he's in. It's not like he's a long guy. He's only 5'8". You know, it's not like he's a long, lean dude that can kind of fill in and grow into a weight division. I mean, but it could also be a case that way he's just really that damn good. You know, Tony Bellew probably just hating. He probably just mad that Canelo Alvarez beat the shit out of his boy. But he also could be on to something. He's a fighting guy. He's a boxer. He knows the game. You know? And I'm not mad at him from speaking his mind. You know, that's kind of taboo nowadays. You know, when guys are a little bit more outspoken, guys that's not afraid to say things that other people are afraid to say, it's really shunned upon in today's society. You know? But he also finished off with this, like people don't want to hear the truth. There's nothing you can do. So he really believes that Canelo Alvarez is not being fair in boxing. But my beef with Canelo is, I'm not saying he's doing any of that. That's just what Tony said, right? But my beef with Canelo is his opponent selection. And it seemed like the guys that he's been picking hasn't been really fighting to beat him. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it looks to me, man. You know, Callum Smith was pulling his punches. He was pulling his punches, man. He wasn't putting nothing behind the punch. He wasn't trying to punch through Canelo Alvarez. He was just trying to touch him. Maybe Canelo was just that damn good. But I didn't get sense of a man that was out there to win. Demetrius Andrade even said it, and I was thinking it as he was saying it. This guy ain't out here to win. Sergey Kovalev, it didn't look like he was out there to really win. The Kovalev prior to fighting Canelo knocked out Anthony Yarde with a jab. Yet he couldn't even hurt Canelo Alvarez at all. He was kind of winning the fight until he wasn't. The fight just didn't look real to me. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone or some shit once the knockout happened. It's like, wait a minute, what? And then we go to the Callum Smith fight. Dude had a significant physical advantage, and nothing was happening. Canelo was just bullying him, walking him down. Dude wasn't even really trying to, he just kept doing the same combos, putting his back against the ropes. It just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know, y'all. Like, subscribe.